Guys, today is a day I've been looking for quite some time now. We are playing short stack poker. No, not short stack, we're playing short deck poker. So it's a very exciting format. And I think it has been played for quite some time now in Asia. And yeah, it has been released today on Pokerstars as well. The main rules are the deuce, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6 are being taken out of the deck. So we only have cards higher than a 6 in the deck. So it creates a lot of interesting spots. Also, you don't have small blind, big blind. You have a button ante. You see the raise sizes are completely different. Some people are min-raising, 3xing, 9xing, and you have an ante. Every player is playing an ante, and we have a button big blind. For example, you can see here that with ace-king pre-flop versus kings, you have 44% equity. So ace-king in this game is extremely strong. Also all these sort of hand jack 10, 10, 9, because you're gonna make straights way more often. I'm gonna call once here and probably fold the river. I think he could be value raising some weird stuff. Okay, that's definitely I mean, I don't want to judge any, because the thing is, I have zero experience in this game. I'm playing this format now for the very first time, so take it with a little bit of grain of salt. And I try to apply my no limit hold'em knowledge onto this game and try to approach the sport from a rather logical perspective. And yeah, so please bear with me. If someone out of there is who's a short deck expert, feel free to reach out and maybe we can discuss spots or join our Discord. I'm happy to speak about yeah, strategies and all these sort of things. Here, by the way, there was an interesting spot. He limps pre and I raise with king queen, of course. And I check back the flop. The reason is that in his limping range, he has all these jack 10s, 10 8s that have an insane high amount of equity. He has queen 6, queen 9, lower pairs. So I don't think he's just limp calling ace queen. And on this board, all draws are basically flipping against me. So yeah, that's why king queen looks strong, but I think in short deck, it isn't that strong on this board texture. So we definitely have to check it back and then just call it down and no value raise on the river. So with top pairs on these connected boards, you have to be even more careful. I think pot limit Omar players will have also a little like not an maybe an advantage over no limit players, because they're gonna realize these spots where equities are much closer together, much easier than no limit hold'em players. We see top pair like, yeah, we know second pair is very strong as well and in many spots, but in this game, it's probably often not the case. I think you should be working with a lot of bigger sizings. Yeah, and here we're just gonna get it in. Against kings, we're flipping, we block aces. I mean, we also block kings, but it's just he can have queens and yeah, even king jack, and even king jack has some decent equity. My advice, if you try out a new format, always play tight. Play it safe, play less hands, observe the games. There are going to be a lot of recreational players just want to test it out. They're going to punt around. I think it's, especially the first days, it's extremely profitable. I mean, we have to call $1 for $7. We have to call any 2 here. I don't see how we can ever fold pre-flop. I'm just going to call once again here. This bet is just too small. Even if he has an ace, we're drawing very good against, like, not very good, but we just simply get the prize against an ace, or you can still have a flush draw. I'm just going to check it back now. I don't think we can. Value bet. Yeah, he was drawing with the flush draw. And I don't want to reopen the action that he then starts check jamming on me. And remember, a flush beats a full house. I think limping and going for a lot of limp re-raising is a valid strategy. This might be... I think we have a straight draw. No, the 5 is taken out of the deck. But we have some backdoor equity. So I'm gonna start with the bet. I think it's a good hand on any 9 or any 10 we can keep barreling. I'm just gonna jam. Actually, the thing is also there are less flush draws possible because of the less amount of flush draws, outs for flush draws that are in the deck, right? Because you don't have the deuce in spades, 3 in spades, 4 in spades, 5 in spades, so every flush draw has less equity. And of course we're gonna go broke here with a very decent trip hand. Yeah, so far it's going very well. I think ace-8 off is not... So I think there are a lot of unexperienced, like also no limit Holdem unexperienced players who just want to try out the format. He could easily have aces for sure, but I think even aces on the flop sizes down a little bit. So even if he folds queen jack, I wouldn't mind. Let's say if it's a flush draw with queen jack or king jack and spades, I think he's checking very often. So if he now stacks it off with this hand, that's totally fine for me. Or he's ace king, ace queen. I don't think this is an open. I think this hand in no limit and short tick is also very strong. I'm not going to start limping because I'm not experienced at all what kind of hands I'm supposed to limp with here. So I'm just going to stick with my open raising strategy, which I'm very familiar with from No Limit Hold'em poker. And let me share one thought with you before we continue talking about hands here. It is very important that you're always open for new formats. No matter what Pokerstars did in the past, or no matter how much you hate certain formats, always look out for new formats. The game always evolves, the game changes, and the first ones that are seeing opportunities and taking those opportunities are going to be the ones that will also succeed much faster than others, because they're just open for new things, for change, and don't get stuck in the current state. Don't try to just stay in your comfort zone. Bounty tournaments has been introduced. They're very, very big, and those that have been studying bounty tournaments early on are the biggest crushers right now. High performance have been introduced the past couple of years. You can hate them or love them, but the thing is, it's gonna come, and new formats will be introduced. So you can you can be very resentful and dwell like how much luck it is and its way to gambling. I have received some very weird messages about me playing fusion poker, but just keep in mind that that's just the nature of the game. That's the nature of life. It's in business. It's in your personal stuff. If you get too much stuck and you don't grow, you don't try out new things, you don't seek out for opportunities, you're gonna miss out on a lot of opportunities, and that's very bad. And I highly encourage you, either shut up and just accept it that they're new games, or you try them out. But complaining about it and dwelling about it, where it's not in your power to change that or to make an impact anyway, because it's not in your power to decide which games are going to be introduced unless you start your own poker site. So you either take it and you try it out, or you just shut up and you focus on your own stuff. But being negative, being toxic, and dwelling and like sharing bullshit on social media, it's not gonna help you in your personal journey. Even if you're right, it just doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So focus on your own stuff, try to get better, and then I think you will do very well and be open for new opportunities. Wow, I think Jack-10 suited, especially multi-way, is super strong. And I'm not gonna start any GTO bullshit. I have to protect my range, blah blah blah. Just gonna bet straight for value here. Isn't Jack 10 suited strong enough to stack off here? I'm a little worried about this guy, I'm not sure. Like, it's extremely strong and would have liked to see the equities here multi-way. Oh, they stack off with ace jack and ace queen. That's very interesting. Yeah, we just go 3 streets for value here. He can have pocket 8s, he can have pocket 7, pocket 9s, he can pocket 10s. Flush draws that I think most people are calling with. I think I'm just gonna jam. He might has a lot of nut flush draws. I can represent all sorts of 8-6s, 10-8s that I'm bluffing with. I want to take a free card here and then on a safe turn start investing money. I think, yeah, or he was just very often a strong draw. I think now we can bet once. I'm gonna call here multi-way ace 10. I'm not sure of suited. I mean, I'm probably going to be very often dominated by ace queen, ace king, kings queens. That will also take out my take my odds away. I'm also not sure if that is a defend, but queen 10 suited I would certainly be defending. I'm just going to protect my hand a little bit here, try to clear out some equity. We're going to check call here. I think he has a lot of king jacks in his range. Of course, ace 10, ace 7, that might be peeling once. And if we hit a club, we can go for a very big river bet. Can we bluff this river? The problem is he has all ace jacks in his range. He has all his king jacks. And I think he might be hero calling with too many 2-pair. The problem is we have to size it up to make him 2-pair. And I don't think that 2 pairs and sets are folding every single time. And if we go and overbet all in, he just has too many jacks in his range that they're gonna be snap calling with. And yeah, I also don't want to block any clubs. So if I have, say, queen jack without a flush draw, it might be okay. But when I have a club, it's more likely that he has a 2-pair or... So I think this sizing is not good from him here. I think he might be also a short deck recreation player. I just get a good price to peel pretty much everything. I'm just gonna bet small here. Definitely gonna start betting here. Again, I'm gonna just keep betting small against some. That's a great card. We block 8-9. We can go bananas on any club. We block ace queen, so I'm just gonna keep betting. I hope he's a regular. Yeah, I think now we have enough showdown value. He has some single suited king x hands. He has something like 10-8 in clubs, 10-9 in clubs, 10-8 in clubs, 10-6 in clubs, king x, jack x in diamonds. There was a double flush draw, so I can check back and take our free showdown. Here I'm calling on the button. You've seen that people get it in quite loose. He's squeezing against him, so you can also squeeze him with king queen suited, ace jack suited. I definitely want to keep this hands in the pot. I'm gonna. What do I want to isolate here? I'm gonna call. If I turn a gutter or flush draw, I'm gonna go with it on the turn. But if the turn breaks, like a 7, 8, 9, he jams, I can fold. Yeah, especially if he snap jams. I'm gonna save myself a lot of money here by not getting it on the flop, because I don't think he's jamming ace jack ever here. Like, I have so many 2 pairs and straights now, and ace king, maybe ace kings, but yeah. So he could be jamming ace queen as well. Like, is he jamming ever ace jack? Is he ever jamming ace jack? I don't think so. Like, especially snap. He snapped 3-bet pre, snap bet flop, snap jam. He has to at least to think about it for a little bit. Yeah, it seems since he raises so small, I also think that he might be a recreational player. Gonna ISO 3-bet here for value. Just trying to make him fold his ace queens, ace jack, ace. I think I'm gonna the king and diamonds on some 10, any 10, any ace. We can triple, make him fold a pair, a single 7. Queen 10 off will certainly be an open race. So definitely wanna ISO raise him again. I think with a gutter, but the 10 in clubs is quite dirty, so. I think this is not an open race. Oh, what a nasty turn. What a nasty turn. What happened here? 8x open raise. Okay. Interesting to know that he stacks off short deck, open, 8x, UTG, ace, queen, O, plus 4-bet jam versus cutoff. For which got a bit small here. Seems to be a fun player. I don't want to make big bluffs against fun players, to be honest. This is a great river. My kicker is a bit weak, but I think we can go for 3 streets here against a fun player. For the charm, how deep is it? 20 BB. Yeah, I think his ace queen is quite some overplay. Uh, 10-7 off here. I'm gonna peel. I think it can't be too bad to peel those hands. We have an easy call here. And an easy check on the turn, river. I think he can eventually keep bluffing this hand. We don't have that many diamonds in our range. We should probably start betting because a lot of our diamonds have a gutter on the flop, so they're strong enough to start putting some money in the middle. So yeah, I think I would have liked to see a river bluff from him. Oh, that is a sweet hand. Yeah, we have to call. Interesting. A very important thing when you take notes, like I always try to take notes in a way where, unless I'm 100% sure I know it's bad, but let's say his river bluff might be okay. I don't know. That's why I'm saying he takes creative lines, because I would have not expect him to ever have king jack here. And he seems to be very bet heavy, so I'm gonna go for a check raise. I think it's a board texture that allows him to stab with a very high frequency, and if he has like ace jack with backdoor flop or king jack, or even all the ace tens, and I can go for a check raise. If he has a set, I think it's gonna stack off anyway. Selection. This is a turn we want to down bet. So if we have, let's say, 9-8 or even ace-10, we can like buy a little bit of free showdown. And we can do that with our weak hands, and we can also do that, of course, do that with our strong hands as well. Checking would be fine as well, because I mean we can always check raise 8-7, 9-7, 6-7, A7, 7-7. If he has queen jack, it would say, wow, yeah, nothing you can do. And overbets river, three-way. I'm going to start leaving the flop here. I don't think there's 3-betting too much of the 8-7s or 10-9s combos and pairs. So already 4 equity, it's ace king, ace queen. Bets river, three-way. I'm going to ISO raise this guy here. Three-way, ace 10, 8, king 10. Interesting flop. I'm gonna go for a check call. I'm gonna play this hand very aggressively if this guy checks back. Against half pot with a gotcha to the nuts, I'm gonna call. And against the sizing. Actually, wait, no, I think we have to call in short deck. Yeah, I think we have to call. Because since there are 2s, 4s, 3s, 5s out of the deck, it's much easier to hit your draws. I think I'm going to shove the river. Like, I don't think he would size that big with ace jack. And I think it's only ace 10 in spades. Or, like, we block king 9 in spades. So I think I'm just going to shove here. If you want to bluff a recreational off his hand, then you should bet very big. I think just jamming is the play here to really represent the flush. Let's pretend we had the flush. I'm gonna raise the flop here. Easy call here pre. Gonna start with a bet, decent backdoor equity, making him fold something like 6s, 8s, 9s. And easy fold against the raise. Let's show him the jack. This guy likes to bet a lot on the rivers, so I'm just gonna keep checking back here. And bluff catch the river. And we have an easy call. I'm gonna start with a bet here. Let's find his sizing. That's not too big, but still extract some value. I think he's gonna call any ace. I'm just gonna 3 streets here. Just too many king jacks, king tens. I think that will call any jack x and club. If he has king queen, that sucks. We can just easily forward against the raise then. Yeah, this card really sucks. I'm just gonna check forward. I also don't believe that people are turning too many hands in a bluff. I'm gonna limp. I'm gonna limp very exploitive. I'm not sure if it's an open raise. I'm just gonna limp. Against that small raise here, cut off possession, having position on him, getting insane odds pre. I think we have to call. I think ace jack, jacks would be ISO raising, so I go for a very polarizing bet. And against this huge squeeze, I'm just gonna go out of the way. I'm gonna pot the turn. I think just too many 2 pairs that gonna call. I'm gonna check here. I think the offsuited aces might not play so well, so we're just gonna keep the pot small, try to hit an ace and win small pots instead of blowing up the pot. And we have a bit of showdown value. We split. I think it's also a good spot to apply like a lot of pressure. So my line looks very strong, but I would also start bluffing my 10-7 suited. I'm also going to call here. If I have a bit of playability, and these 7-8, 9-8, 10-9, I believe are very strong in short deck. So I definitely want to be playing against these guys here. So we could be bluffing with hands like 10-9, Queen-9, 10-7 when they check again and apply a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is an open, but it can't be too bad. We invest $4 to win $3.50 with 3 players left to act with a hand that flops quite okay in short deck. I think also in short deck, it's the player selection is very important. To adjust your sizings, who's on the button, so basically who's in the blind. Good re-raise by him. Let's see if you have a read on him already. I think he played very straightforward so far. The problem with his ace king king is it really blocks a lot of my straight outs. I'm gonna make a tight forward here. Could be a defend, but he's 3xing 5x. He also multi-tables, so he might be a rag, so I have to pay a little more attention how he defends his button. That should have a big impact on our strategy. And keep in mind, you're also going to flop and turn more often straights and trips, which might look pretty nice at first, but I think a good hand to double barrel on the 8. Oh yeah, especially the hearts is really, really good. Since you flop less flushes, I think suited aces aren't that good. I'm definitely gonna barrel against his like ace high floats, weaker pairs. We don't block. It sucks a bit having the 9 in diamonds now. Definitely gonna start with a bet. Yeah, but I think he has just too many king X, and we block diamonds. If I would have, let's say, 10-9 in hearts, it would be much better. I'm just gonna check here. I hope he's gonna check back. We definitely call once. We have some. I think he might be value betting even 8-7 and ace-7 on the turn. So yeah, I'm happy he didn't bluff the river here. I think he's very, very strong. I don't think he should be calling the flop with ace-7 off. Against my ace-8s and ace-10s and sets, he has 0% equity. Almost, so. I will start bluffing this hand here on the turn. Turn my hand to bluff to make him forward kings and aces. I'm too short to set mine. I'm gonna start betting here on the flop, on the turn. We can have, okay, now we have enough showdown value. Like he can have aces. You can even have something like ace jack or 8x in diamonds. You can have some very strong hands. You can still have ace queen, queens, kings, and we have now showdown value against ace jack, some jack 10s, 10-9s. Wow, okay. Good that we didn't bluff this one. Yeah, I think I want to play pots with this guy. I'm definitely going to ISO raise very loose. This guy is also very play happy. that speaking about my plan to play very tight in those games. Just trying to fold out some king nines that have some decent backdoor equity. And even something like, if this guy, let's say, folds an 8, and this guy folds pocket 6s, is still a bunch of equity in short deck, so pretty good outcome for me. And I'm definitely gonna call here pre-flop. Yeah. Gonna timing tells are very important. If he snap bets, I think that's already. I'm gonna bet very small just to fold out like ace queen and clubs and stuff like this. And easy fold here. Thinking where I was just 6-7 suited, Jack 7 suited or stuff like this. Or it's crazy how king 8 has more equity than 10-9. So we're actually playing, this is no limit 100, and this is also no limit 100, and this is no limit 50. I think we already we chipped up quite well. I think he also plays very exploitative. We might pick up on that. So now he 9x's. Let's maybe play a little more aggressively if he 3x's or 4x's. I stick around with 5x. I think if you raise a little bit over what is in the pot, it makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna start with a big bet. It's a bad card. He still has all the ace 10s, queen 10s, 10-9, so we have to check, and we go for a snap check. I think is weak. I think all straights would be betting on the turn. I mean, he could be trapping for sure if he's sneaky, but I think just so many king queens and ace jacks that might be hero calling with. And this hand we call. Ui. I don't think bluff catching makes sense. I don't think they turn something into bluff. I think we're just gonna get it in here. So much equity. Well, actually, if he has ace king, gonna lead small against his sets. I think his sets are always calling. Plus, king in spades, 10 in spades is dirty. But I think quads, if he has kings, quads beats. And we free roll against aces. Ooh, hola chaka. Or I think you even start deeper. I think you can sit down with 150 big blinds. Ah, yeah, okay. So I don't know. I'm a bit. Very easy delayed c-bet. I'm gonna check call the turn here. How much you're buying in actually? Would like to know. So we know you buy in with 100. Ah, 100 is button blind for two. Ah, okay. So these two games you buy in with 200. I'm gonna block bet here, and here you buy in with 100. Okay. I just don't get why people complain all the time and then they keep playing there. I mean, for sure, there are certain things that don't go the right way, but still. I think King 9 suited is strong enough to peel here. Actually, good board for our range. If I have pocket 9s or pocket 10s, I would probably just straight start betting as a bluff. I don't think he will be either raising too many combos of 8s or 10-9. So I'm gonna check call the turn. So you can see gutter is very strong. It's, I mean, for him really hard to have bluffs actually. Like, it's just the naked flush draws. But with the additional gutter, I think we have to call. He might even be value betting ace queen, like queen jack. Like, even against queen jack, we have a ton of equity. Like any 8, any king, any, like, why is he checking the flop? Like, I really don't get this play, to be honest. He wants to pot control on the flop, and then he puts an insane amount of money in the turn where I have all the two pairs of the world and all the straights that go for a check raise. Like, I don't mind the bet on the turn, but it's just not very consistent with his thoughts. Probably I would just straight bet on the flop. It's just so much value in there. Like, I even have to call 9s and 10s there. And since, as you know, the equities are very close together, you definitely want to start betting when you have a reasonable hand, such as 2 pairs on a drawy board. Because even 9s and 10s has so much equity. And even ace 9, I don't know, just a wild guess, I probably has around 30% equity with a gutter and runner 2 pair, or cut to 8, let's say turn ace, river 8, runner flush opportunities. Just it's just not good to check back on this flop texture just because I can have 10-9. God of heads up, he is also a regular no limit Holdem cash game player. He 3-bets his button quite wide so far, but I think queen 10 off is again a hand. I would rather peel 10-9 off, 9-8 off. I think we can easily check call the turn. It's time to flop a set. Maybe he has ace jack. What can he have? Jack 10. See, open raising a random ace 8 from under the gun. Ace jack, ace king, I think would probably start betting on the flop or turn. If he bets, I'm probably gonna call. Ace 8, okay. I think button can start bluffing the turn. Seems to be a bit more passive. Already drawing dead against the flush. Oh, what's happening here? Someone has quads. Someone has quads here. Someone has for sure quads. This guy's for sure quads. Tap it here. Yeah, it's very possible he bets an 8. Or does he bet an 8 so small? Wow. Not the nicest board texture, but we're definitely gonna start betting here. Quite deep with button. Don't mind knocking him out on the flop. Very bad turn for us. I think he should be calling 10s and 9s, just so much backdoor potential. I'm definitely going to call 1s. He can still value bet ace jack or pocket queens. So yeah. Jack 10, that's alright. Jack 10 is probably better bet than ace jack king jack because it just has the additional gutter against kings and aces. So I really like his bet and protects himself against ace queen ace king that is check folding. I'm gonna start with a bet here. Queen 10 we can keep bluffing. And this card we can just easily check fold. Too greedy, my friend. So far also pre-flop when he limped or raised small, he was very weak. I think I just want to check back sixes. It's like pocket deuces in Holdem and Holdem. And we definitely want to raise it up here. Easy step here with ace jack off, 6-7 off we're gonna fold, king 7 off we're gonna fold. You still get some crappy hands of course, and it's important you stay patient, you don't play those hands. Even though you kind of remember that cutoff here is basically if the button calls he's gonna have position on you. So your range should be significantly stronger, or you incorporate a limping range, you raise bigger sizings. I mean, I think even my sizing is quite small here. Should be raising probably a little bigger, but I think people exploit that too much. I'm going to fall an overbet here. We should have pretty much the nuts always. He's capping his range heavily towards one pair hands with the gutter. So if he has 8-9, he has to call 7-9, pocket nines. And even if he folds those hands, that's pretty good for the EV of my hand. And he will probably not fold a queen. Definitely want to put in some money there. Could also be easily overbetting with all my draws. So definitely turn we want to apply a lot of pressure on. Jack tends to use a call, and we're also going to continue against the squeeze. Interesting. I mean, backdoor flush draws aren't that much worth as in no limit Holdem, but the gutters are worth a lot. Do we want to bluff the river? I think we have to. I think I feel compelled to bluff the river here. I mean, Queen Jack, I would also sometimes start betting on the turn. I'm really hoping a king is folding. Nope. Snap call. Wow. He's calling. Maybe didn't realize that he has a bottom two pair. Oh, he has bottom pair. Oh, we got owned here. We got owned. Probably his last hand, he just wanted to make a YOLO call. This game is definitely funny. And it's great to see that you get these calls. I think we have to call his 2 overs. It's either monster trap or just nothing. I am going to sit out. Let's play one more button here. Each position, we're about to hit the button here and here, so for each table. And then I'm gonna wrap up this session. I really would like to know what you guys think about this format. Are you going to give it a try, or how do you see it in the future? And if you're just going to be toxic and complaining about bullshit, we're going to delete those comments. You can criticize, of course, but it should always be in a way where it's constructive, it's respectful, and we don't need any toxic people. So if you just want to unleash your bullshit in our comments, yeah, sorry, you can go somewhere else and troll around and be negative. You don't need to be happy about this format. If you have a negative opinion about that, feel free to share it with us. But yeah, if it's just randomly ranting and complaining without any value, then just leave it. Jack turn off, we're gonna open here. Limp is fine as well. I think we're gonna go for limp. Gonna take the free card here. I think this board just connects way too much with the limping ranges. There's 2 recreational players I'm gonna call. Here, small raise, cutoff position on them, I'm gonna call as well. Not sure if that's a call, but it's very often already 2 pairs, so overs aren't even live anymore, so I'm just gonna fold it. And here I'm definitely gonna peel. Again, we can, as we did earlier, apply a lot of pressure if a club hits. I'm gonna bet small and jam the river, I think. Already blocking one flush draw or one flush is so important, and I think we're gonna be able to make him fold ace king or king queen or just some random ace high bluffs. Very bad board, very good board. Ace 8 off and ace 6 off shouldn't be that much in the limping range. We block ace 8 suited, ace 6 suited, but ace jack off, ace 10 off can be definitely more often in the limping ranges. I definitely want to be sizing it up here. I think I'm going to size down. If he raises, we can comfortably fold. I would also do it with my aces. I just want to charge his weaker aces and flush draws. I'm just gonna take my free card here. And now we can check back. If the river would have been a blank and not a club, I would have just folded. Try to make him fold one pair hands here. I think I'm gonna fold. Wow, it would be such a genius play if he bets ace jack with jack and clubs. He could be betting ace 10 with 10 and clubs, ace jack with jack and clubs. Flush draws. The problem I have, he was tanking quite long on the flop and turn. I think flush draws snap call more often. I think on average he might be randomly betting his ace jack or ace 10 with a club maybe. Sevens? How is he getting there with sevens? Alright. That's definitely an interesting line. This is supposed to be a bet. Gonna go for a delayed bet here. Just once, try to fold his ace highs, under pairs, and then we're gonna wrap up this session for today. I definitely enjoy this format a lot. I think it has great potential. It's already been played in Asia, very high stakes, and yeah, I'm probably going to try it out a little more often in the future, see where it goes, and if I think there's a lot of money to make, I'm going to be one of the first that tries to make some money in these games. And then, yeah, share your opinion in the comments. Feel free to criticize the game. Stay away with your negative, toxic bullshit. And then I'm happy to see you guys in Discord, where we can take it further and discuss strategies, even discuss hands. Yeah, I'm looking forward, and then I see you guys in the next video. Ciao, guys.